right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back once again to the B stream here from IEM Oakland. The group stages continue onward as we get ready to jump into our next match here. It's going to be the Mongolz taking on Team EnVyUs. Both teams came close in a certain respect to upsetting against their first opponents, but failed, just coming short in the case of EnVyUs taking it all the way to OT against SK. For the Mongolz, obviously coming out a little bit shorter, only ending up 9-16 against Cloud9 in that last match that we just saw. But now they're going to be jumping right back into the heat against the Frenchies, and we're going to have to see how well they play off against them.
On cash.
On cash.
So we're getting a nice sampling of the 7-map pool. So we've had 3 maps, all of them different. And cash is a great map to watch, right? A lot of dynamic plays. EnVyUs innovating a lot of types of strats, specifically force by executes on the A site with running flashes. So I always like to see what Happy can come up with on a map, especially one that's kind of strat saturated.
And we are going to be diving right into it, guys. EnVyUs, to start things off, they'll be going on to the T side. For the Mongolz, obviously it'll be the opposite.
Do you remember when you could self-boost onto red during that one kind of weird update?
Yeah, where like the jumping was bugged and people could jump higher than normal?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that.
You just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
this is one of those, let's talk about the strat at hand, right? So this is one of those kind of like T default type pistol rounds. SK is a big fan of these, right? So if SK is in a very important match, they'll run a type of pistol round like this, where they kind of just chill for the first minute or 45 seconds, look for any aggression, and look at Mongolz' setup. Super retake at A.
Very
That is crazy.
there too. So EnVy is still a little bit confused, not being able to see anyone close to the A site, but they'll be able to waltz right in, get their plant onto the ground. It'll be Sixer putting it down there. And now, well, we're just going to have to wait and see if Mongolz can get their players in position. Pretty much everybody going up truck and highways. There's just a swarm of CTs trying to push back into this site. EnVyUs are now aware of it, though, and XMS has already struck fire, taking down 1, now 2 players. He even gets a 3rd against Machine Gun. Finally, we see 1 pickup from NCL, but it's very short-lived. Happy takes out NCL afterwards, and it's EnVyUs to claim the pistol in very straightforward fashion.
So the idea there, obviously, retake A, but a little bit more detailed is that they had a smoke. What they were going to try and do is smoke the bomb off for the defuse and probably defuse under the chaos of gunfight, right? The thing is, though, is that EnVyUs is very aware of that strategy. Why? Because G2 run a similar strat all the time, right? So, you know, obviously they know people on G2 and they played against them.
Good spam coming up from Scream early on. The problem is, though, is that he really goes forward with it. Goes all the way over top of Big Red and peeks middle, and that gives an early kill over to Soku. It's down to a 1v4. EnVyUs getting their players spread out. Obviously, Happy trying to mess around, squeaky a little bit here, but the problem is he got completely blinded, so that opens up a rift for Mara to push into. Taking down Happy. Machine Gun as well, holding on the corner, gets a double and makes it a 3rd one as he shuts down EnVyUs and gives Mongolz their first round, stealing it on the 2nd and tying us up.
And there you have it.
Like, what having the time of his life, you could say.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to like give anyone half credit for why that round shouldn't have happened that way.
But EnVyUs do end up throwing it away, so that is going to cost them dearly, and obviously they will respond just as aggressively as the Mongolz did after their loss in the first round. RPK should definitely be able to see all of this. They should be calling it out to Scream as well to be able to pounce on this, and RPK waiting until it's the right moment to jump in himself. He picks up the first kill. Sixer helps him out the 2nd. Wow! Sogu with that instant flick over to RPK there to make sure that he got at least 1 kill out of that exchange. But still comes out at the bottom of the fight, gets knocked out. And now it's a 4v2 all of a sudden. The Mongolz gambling on it being a B hit. That's going to change now with the loss of NCL. Mara's probably going to come right back into the site, and that leaves A wide open for EnVyUs to get a free plant.
What is happening right now?
It's chaos.
Like, why are they triple pushing B when they just reset the T's? Anyway, things I will never know. Add it to the list. Mara is going to be lucky to save this thing. When you plant the bomb and know that there's only 1 guy left for this much time, people are walk pushing. So it's very likely that they're going to find him. And I don't know how much they're going to commit to it, though, because the closest guy is, who is that? Scream and T-Spawn, waiting in that little kind of cubby. Yeah, maybe they won't find him. Maybe they'll let him have this. Sometimes you can, like, bait teams into buying a round they shouldn't buy by, you know, like if they have an extra gun.
We'll see as Mara Does get found out by XMS. Looks like Mara does not want to continue the fight, though. Problem is, he doesn't have a choice. Scream rolls out from the T-tunnels, knocks out Mara, and secures the steal back from EnVyUs as they take the lead again. 2-1. Mongolz, they have a choice to make. Do we force into it again and keep this crazy process going, or do we finally give it and save it? It looks like they'll dive right back into the fire.
Yeah, I mean, how can you call yourself Mongolz if you're not aggressive in what you do, right? Like, if you're gonna not live up to the name, then you can't have it.
Absolutely. So let's see. Tear themselves up another round here.
Happy wants his eco frag, so he's gonna go out first this round. Little does he know they do have armor. They're packed.
It's actually gonna be XMS that probably gets the first chance at it here. Holding back inside of the mid garage, but those players that were pushing Suki end up backing away. They're still sneaking out damage here, mainly against Happy actually, as he's now down at 61 HP. But with him having control of Z, that's made him a very, very dangerous rotate position, which the Seats are going to have to deal with. Happy actually only able to get one kill. He's traded out by Mara. It's mainly Sixer and Scream that are doing the additional damage here to, one, make sure that they hold on to mid, and cause some more problems for the CT still alive there, and, of course, cut off the rotates in the case of Sixer from within the site. So just 2 remain. 1 did pick up an AK again. That's Mara, interestingly enough, same guy they had on the last round. But looks like he's going to get dinked, knocked out at range, too, with a MAC-10. Very impressive shooting from XMS. That leaves only NCL alive. It looks like he's going to go over, try to pick up that AK, and just get the heck out of here. Actually,
they're going to be going around this for sure.
Yeah, and I think he knows that, so it looks like he's just going to be camping out here. You know, more so than anything, just kind of wait this out.
I have a to-do list on my refrigerator, like that has multiple subsections.
Yeah.
And this is CS related, so bear with me. And the third section down after like chores and food or whatever is things to figure out in CS. And the reason I thought about it is because I want to figure out like all of the perfect spams from Z to heaven, because you can shoot through that wall.
That is true.
I don't know why you can just randomly shoot through a wall that's like 30 feet thick, and another wall, you know, like then you can't shoot through firebox or something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Some walls just have black voids in between them that randomly teleport bullets to the other side. So,
oh yeah.
Because you know that like the world of CS just doesn't exist outside of the maps. It's just a black void.
Shouldn't it be easy to just completely simulate physics on a computer and let somebody play it without lag and everything to work perfectly? That should be easy, right?
I mean, that's what the world is, right? It's just a big simulation. So.
Monkas.
So we are going to see RPK move out and find Sogu. Continues that assault as Zilkenberg looks for some revenge. Won't get it, though. And with the elimination of NCL, just Mara is left alive inside of the vents. So only a matter of time until he's dead on the ground, and EnVyUs have secured their 4th round.
So last time I saw EnVyUs play Cash was against Space Soldiers at the EU minor, right? Which they ended up succeeding. They got 2nd place. Space Soldiers got 1st. Space Soldiers are a very good Cash team, and EnVyUs played them pretty close. So Mongolz got the work cut out for them here.
Absolutely.
We're going to see the first op come into the fray on Zilkenberg. It looks like a pretty low utility buy here for the CT side. 1 kid on machine gun. Let's see where that is.
Zilkenberg.
In the middle.
It's like we're against the glass cannon buy, too.
Look at them. They're coming out with the hard stuff from the beginning, counter boosting on round 6.
Continuously spamming in, which is not only serving as obviously just annoyance, but masks the noise of the boost a little bit too, if it was making any noise. Since they've got Scream close up, so if they do hear any sounds, first of all, they definitely hear Scream moving around here on the counter boost. Counter boost does not work out, and even worse, NCL almost burns up from the molly alone. He still can't leave that corner, as the molly still completely surrounds the smoke right now. He's got a little crevasse, which he can try to sneak through, but just ends up waiting out the duration of the smoke. But he's still stuck here. That's the problem.
Now would be a good time for an HE grenade.
It would be a great time for an HE grenade. Do they have one, or do they realize they've got them trapped in that position? I don't think they do.
Oh, they have to realize that. I just don't think they want to stick their head out there, right? Because if that guy has a buddy ready to swing highway or Z, it could be a way to lose it out.
We do see EnVyUs committing to B after obviously that bit of delay with the mid play. And now the rest of EnVyUs will start to pour in either through mid or other options. NCL actually snuck a kill off on that Cubby though, so it actually doesn't seem like they realize he stuck around there. Happy will quickly trade it, but meanwhile as we go back to the fight within the site, Sixer knocks out Zilkenberg. And that should actually pretty much secure it. Mara and Sugo way over on the other side of the map. No utility between either of them, not even a single kit, so I highly doubt they're going to attempt a retake with that. More than likely, we'll just fall back into Squeaky and save.
Fight in the site. Just want to give you some props for that one there.
Thanks, man.
Way to rhyme off the top of your head.
I think I rhymed like 3 other things in that round, too, and it was like, just worked out.
Yeah, I kind of blacked out. I didn't catch those.
Gotcha.
I was thinking about CS, believe it or not. Thinking about the round
Gotcha.
as you do the thing that you're good at.
Breaking it down.
Yeah.
Well,
digesting it, distilling it, if you will.
Oh, that's a nice way to put it. Well, let's see here if they can kill any of these saved players. Happy walking into a landmine if he continues forward, and it will blow up one of them. Sogu will knock him out, and there won't be any additional attempts to drop the 2 guns, just send the 1 player in. Unsuccessful. It's unfortunate, but thankfully it minimizes the damage.
Do you remember who won the knife round?
No.
Okay, because I hope that the Mongols did not pick CT side. One of the things that triggers me is the fact that teams have this weird feeling that like Cash is anything other than T-sided. Right? I think we've seen it enough times. I think we've seen Nip get wrecked in huge matches on Cash enough times to know that it's not a CT-sided map. And especially when you're the underdog, you don't want to play CT side. So I really hope they didn't win the knife round and choose CT side. Rant over.
Well, we could deliberate on that a little bit later. See if we can get in a bit of a questionnaire with one of the members of Mongolz to figure that out. But they're playing right now. So
questionnaire.
So we'll
it's
do
like
that.
filling out a sheet with a like half-length pencil.
We'll give them a suggestion slip. Just ask them to fill it out. And one of the questions will be, did you win the knife round on Cash? Just throw that one in there. Instead of, just one. But into the next round we go, and it is pretty much, again, just a half-buy for the Mongols, despite those guns that were saved, obviously. They still carry those 2 M4s over, but it's going to be CZ, P250s aside that. Zilkenberg not even buying armor so that he can save up for the op. And this will go pretty straightforward into the B site, just a nice little vent/halls split. Already got checkers control.
Ooh.
And we'll move into X
Precise molly.
Site now, too. In they go. RPK. However, does not realize that there's a small hole left in the tree room entrance, but walks right past that and gets the entry onto the site player. Anyway, it's Machine Gun that gets the kill onto XMS here, where we start seeing EnVyUs just tear these remaining players apart. Only 2 of the remaining. One of them also didn't even have the M4, so they've also lost guns throughout the course of this round, and they're about to lose a few more. That's if Happy can get this kill, that is. There we go. Knocks out Sogu. And leaves only Machine Gun in this fight, but he'll hold on.
Wow.
He'll take down Happy. He's something to get away with here. Machine Gun seems to want to continue the fight, though.
It seems that after Machine Gun's, at least somewhat par performance impressive at times on the first map that we saw him against Cloud9, it seems like you're fresh out of Splice memes. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean that was the one meme right there.
You're like, all right, I feel guilty. It's like that was a low blow.
Yeah, I mean just got that joke out there while it was.
I just wanted to re-bring it up and remind everyone that you. All right, 3 ops on the field. First time for EnVyUs, I believe.
Indeed it is. So let's see. The Mongols are finally going to look to try and get a good hold for themselves. Machine Gun we've already seen as well, picking up the op, can seriously do some work with it.
Okay, they're doing the boost in Z over the smoke.
EnVyUs moving very, very quickly, though, through into the vents here. Machine Gun, unfortunately, not given the most amount of vision. In fact, he really can't see anything beside that smoke. He's trying to jump to get a slightly better amount of intel. So they're not helping out. Zilkenberg will hold, however. He gets the first kill from within the B site, knocking out XMS, and we have the rest of EnVyUs pushing forward now, but they've split up. The CTs actually did a pretty smart split, but RPK will be able to manage them both, bringing us back down to a 3v3, compensating for both of Zilkenberg's kills. That doesn't mean that they're done yet, though, as we do see Machine Gun finding another kill from up at heaven. He knocks out Happy and brings the T's down to only 2 players with just platform control, too. They aren't split up. They don't have a guy waiting in checkers. They're both hiding out here. I think they're going to try to change that. Sending RPK forward, but they're not really being given the chance to. We can see Sixer looking for the lineup to hit a shot, but he's going to go down to Machine Gun. It's all on RPK. Showed up in the last map. Can he do it again here? He almost does it, but Mara is going to take him down as the last man standing for the Mongols. Keeps the dream alive for these CTs, and finally, we'll put a second round up on the board for them.
And EnVyUs know that they were double opping, and since they got them down to 1 player here, they know there's money. Their money is low, so EnVyUs are chomping at the bit. They're going to win this round, hopefully. can reset them. Tactical reset. Incoming is what they're aiming for. Man, when RPK takes a path like that over the top of default box, right? How often do you see somebody entry on the site like that? That's got to fill him with confidence, right? Just taking that path, got to feel alpha up there.
So with a play like that, indeed, it does limit the money for the Mongols, though, since there's really only one player left alive at the end of the round. MP9 for Sogu, FAMAS for NCL. You know, the usual issues that arise after losing a round, or winning a round in that fashion. Zilkenberg, though, will continue on his aggressive pass, sneaking out from B. And he's already found the kill into RPK, not just this, but Happy guy that got hit by a nade or an upshot through a wall. Something brought him down relatively low as he's already at 62. It looks like a nade from that little spot on the ground there. But regardless, EnVyUs are going to move in. XMS starts it off well with his entry. Unfortunately, can't take down Sogu. He trades it back out a second later, and we end up in a 3v4. EnVyUs also just seemed like kind of that we had our XMS going out on his own as there was no one to support him. The other players are only just now coming out of A main. Good flash to go through the smoke. It's taken Happy a moment to find his mark, though. So Mara just picks up the first kill outright. Scream will trade it. They get access to the site to find a plant, but they have no control over this bomb site right now. This is a very chaotic and forced plant. The Mongols need to take advantage upon this before they set themselves up. Missed op shot from Sixer, but he corrects it on the pistol. Smokes his way out of here as well.
I like it.
Scream still left with plenty of room to maneuver on the backside. Sixer with another upshot. He already knows where NCL is too, as he saw him lining up against the wall before. It's why he popped off the smoke. Can hear him coming back up to the forklift, and NCL almost completes the trade on Sixer. Won't get it done right here, but NCL is now stuck between a rock and a hard place. No easy way out of this 1v2, and he's out of time on trying to fall back. Sixer will take him out, and it's EnVyUs to take back control and now reset the Mongols, more importantly.
That's where you need a CT side IGL. As soon as Machine Gun gets that kill, or was it Zilkenberg? Whatever. It was one of the oppers, they had double op. It was a great shot. And then he gets sunroom control, right? As soon as he gets that, they should be dumping their utility over at A at the first sight of any T. You can't let that happen. It's like, it was almost like so simple of a response from EnVyUs that like the Mongols didn't bite on it, right? It's like, as soon as they get B control, they're starting to smoke and hit A.
Zilkenberg. The CD's actually having some really good aggressive positioning as we start off the 10th round, but I think the problem is it's really a 1-2 punch as soon as EnVyUs realized that they adjusted their play. One more kill being snuck off by Mara in the meantime, at least. That's against the player at boost, too, so great kill from Mara, at least, and it gives Machine Gun an AK. However, the round still appears as though it's very much over. And at best, Machine Gun's going to be falling back to T-spawn here to try and find some legs and kills. EnVyUs, though, will be going up to 8. Their lead will continue to blossom.
Absolutely. It's just what the doctor ordered. Coming off the back of the tactical reset, as we talked about. Machine Gun hoping to save this AK-47. He's situated in the back of T-spawn, looking over the fence. I think he's getting info. Hopefully going to try and squeeze out another weapon here, as obviously they are strapped for cash, as we've been mentioning quite often. I like this by EnVyUs, not pushing past Sunroom. You know, if you have more than 40 health, you can stay in the back of Sunroom and not die from the bomb plant. I feel like if the game ever gets very T-sided, one of the things they can do is actually extend the bomb explosion radius. If you think about it, right? That'd be a very like elegant way of making it a little bit more CT-sided.
Forces them to push out further anyway.
Yeah.
Take back more of the map. That's an interesting concept.
Stick around.
Yeah, more coming up after this. Well, let's see here. Mongols onto a full save again. Well, for the most part, full save. We do have armor behind it at least, so technically a half buy, but with minimalist utility. Still going to make it tough, especially on the A site, as you really only have Sogu here to defend things. He's pushing inside of A main. He actually got the kill on Happy, but XMS trades him out the second laner, and EnVyUs will also be able to complete the plant. And again, with only pistols on the remaining forces for the Mongols here, I am not super confident in their ability to retake this. It looks like they're still going to go for it, but the boost up, I think this time it's warranted though, so you're going up against pistols. The problem is an AK can still very easily pick you off, like we just saw right there. Mara did find RPK. Bit of a shooting gallery here from EnVyUs, but they're getting the job done. XMS with another headshot knocks out Mara, and only Zilkenberg remains now. He's also trying to get a headshot going, but nothing's aligning for him, and yeah, eventually he'll peek out into XMS, who is ready for him this time.
I don't like that quad boost.
Normally I don't either. I think in that situation it's okay to do it, but...
Yeah, I guess.
I think in gun rounds it's stupid, but...
Yeah.
Especially if it's like especially if you're the only 2 people left alive, because then it just makes it super obvious.
It's like, oh, thank you for that.
Let's just send a molly back there.
It's like I literally just jumped out Z, and now I know where both of you guys are in the post plant. Thank you very much.
If there's like 3 or 4 guys left alive, I can see use for it too. But normally you don't even see it because you don't need to do it. See that covered. So let's see here. EnVyUs lining up their smokes pretty quickly into A. 2 smokes tossed inside, and now as well, we do have machine gun, I believe, up on top of booster sitting just below it. So
he hears everything, so at least he can call that it's not a mid split.
He's able to call that out, get quick rotates over to the site, and that's going to help providing additional support here, along with giving machine gun that option for an early flank. He wants to go for it. It looks like it cancels it, falls back, and we'll just head up highway. But wow, look at that! No one covering the smoke, it seems. So Sogu walks right through. RPK will quickly trade it, but that's still a bit of a slip up there that they let them get away with. Now the rest of the CTs ready to move back in, but they're wasting a lot of time here. Finally, we see another kill from them, but again, it is traded back relatively quickly, and one more to add on to it as well, with RPK picking up his kill and Sixer adding on to it. RPK will shut down the final kill from Quad, and that puts EnVyUs up to double digits.
And the pause is coming. Definitely think it's a good time to call it. How are you going to play retake on A without a single molly? Come on,
You're
man.
not. That's the thing. Yeah.
What is that? That is not even close to being a good thing to do. At this point, you're probably feeling pretty bad.
Yeah, and seeming a little bit lost here too, as again, your money's going to be put into a bad spot, so you can't really do anything on this round. You have to wait at least one more round. Basically go all in on the 14th in hopes of getting it at least up to 4-11 is what would be the best case, I think, now for the Mongols, unless they somehow upset here.
You never know, though. P250s are quite amazing. Something I'm wondering about is, what did Mongolz do on the veto to allow Cash through? Because Cash is definitely one of EnVy's top 2, if not 3 maps, right? And usually in a veto system, you can remove the top 3 maps from the other team.
Might have been more of a confidence pick from the Mongols if they felt they'd be able to take EnVyUs on it.
Yeah.
So I'm not super familiar with how strong it.
It's just so hard to deal with an IGL like Happy on a map like this where, you know, he's been playing it for so long and he's gonna have so many gimmicks and so many little like wrinkles and nuances to every strat.
It's a head-on flash with the machine gun there, so he's going to be blinded out by that. Happy will be able to take out Sogu first, but machine gun moves in, strikes back a little bit here, and now with the AK in his hand, picks up a second kill. He's going to look for more, but finally taken out by Scream. They corner Mar, a little bit of team damage coming in there too, but I think it's all warranted at the end of the day. Zilkenberg gets one final kill on Scream, and that'll be the end of it. EnVyUs secure the 11th.
I feel like Machine Gun should just change his name to Pistol. Like, he just wrecks people with pistols. He's getting P250 one-taps on the daily. He's obviously the best player on his team because he has the most kills right now. Isn't that how it works?
That's how it works, yeah. I think that's undisputed science.
Kappa.
As they move forward. EnVyUs again, going up against the full buy for the Mongols. And this time looks like the Mongols want to get a little bit more aggressive at A. You can see the A main push coming out now, nading and mollying the ramp. Well, they're taking control and then smoking off that molly before it fades away. So early control taken by the Mongols. Using a lot of utility to do that, which should hurt them on the retake if EnVyUs end up diving into B, that it would appear they're doing now.
So why is this guy still playing highway? Why is he not towards B? This is the question.
Sure, probably waiting for intel to come out from Zilkenberg here now, as he's just now going to start to spot this, moves in, but he's finding impact and getting into these different positions too. Zilkenberg wreaking havoc here. They try to find him and he swings around. Is it going to be an ace? Might as well be. He's going to get the assist on the last player anyway, and he gets the kill. Zilkenberg just running around EnVyUs, circles running around them as he shuts it all down and out of nowhere secures a 3rd round for the Mongols.
That was incredible.
That was amazing.
Absolutely incredible mechanical skill, game sense, knowing where to move based on what's happening. Zilkenberg, you impress me.
Zilkenberg turned into Heisenberg there for a second. Went around there, and he was on a
yeah, this guy's a boss.
killing spree. So nicely done from Zilkenberg as he single-handedly runs circles around EnVyUs with an op, including it right up in their faces. They get it done to it. Now the confidence will come back big time NCL and Mara make that big push through Squeaky. Mid player out too, although Machine Gun doesn't look like he was expecting someone to go over boost that quickly. Scream will get the better of him. We're even into a 3v3, and the remaining 3 on the T side are very quickly getting ready to pinch onto B, which leaves it all on Zilkenberg once again to defend it. Bit of a delay though in getting out of out of checkers here, which was those rotates coming in quickly. Zilkenberg trying to hold, but it seems like there's just too much to worry about for him, so he gets a bit confused there. RPK will end up taking him down. Now they are positioned to watch for these flanks. Samaro's got a tough job in front of him. Scream even waiting on the outside here too, but Mara will get the better of Scream. That's evened it back out. T's having control of their main entryway too.
Oh, I don't think they saw RPK or Sixer get to the tree.
They didn't, so they're going to assume he's up on the site. RPK might just handle it on his own, but not going to happen. Sixer must close out on the final round, but he indeed does it, which means it's going to be 12-3 in the favor of EnVyUs. A very dominant first half. And the second half, guys, is coming up in just a second, so stick with us, and we'll be right back with it. And welcome back again, guys. Into the second half, we are about to go. The Mongolz, unfortunately, not having the best performance on their CT side, only picking up 3 rounds, and one of them comes off of an absolutely crazy play from Zilkenberg. But besides that, they pretty much flatline on the first half, which means EnVyUs have a massive lead to start things off.
And the force buy win, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't there that kind of weird shotgun-style Deagle 3K to end the round?
That's true, yeah. Did that come from Zilkenberg too, or was that Machine? I think Machine Gun did that one.
I don't know. Flip a coin, one of the two.
One of the two, yeah.
Hey, let's not forget about Sugu, though. Against Cloud9, he had that disgusting clutch from under balcony. How are you going to ever clutch from under balcony? Come on now.
This has been clutch machines so far in this tournament.
Hey, if they don't do well in the tournament, at least they already have a ridiculous amount of cool clutches.
The stats will look good at the end of the day. But
they got war stories.
So let's see if we can see a comeback at all for the Mongolz. Being spurred on by the T side, maybe, or will EnVyUs now try to shut things down, and they can do that very easily with just a win on the pistol. But Scream is going to be tested early on. He does not have immediate support from his player or his teammate at Sandbags either. Happy is sitting back. Happy does and holding here, trying to line up the headshots. Gets them both though, so the play pans out, and now we'll quickly wrap around, try to find Sogu. No, we'll not be able to get that kill. Sogu takes him down, brings us into another 3v3, and XMS will be in trouble here if he's not careful. He's currently the only player holding at Heaven. Oh, and it doesn't help as well that RPK was found out by Sogu. In fact, they're going to completely turn this play back on its heels and try to take it over towards A now that they've killed so many players rotating.
Yeah, I mean, pist rounds are the round where you kind of showcase your aim and your mechanical skill, and I think that's coming out right here. Mongolz showing that they aren't afraid to take a fight, just running straight out mid.
Stuff from XMS as he gets the nice little double tap there, finding both Sogu and Machine Gun. And now NCL with a choice here. Looks like he'll decide to push into the site instead of falling back to main. Too big of a risk there. Quickly gets that kill on XMS. And now only one more to go. NCL.
I think he's the only one on their team who doesn't have some just insane clutch yet in these 2 matches.
I think so, yeah. He's been flying under the radar so far.
Did I just jinx him?
You might have. But this would be a big jinx because Sixer's at 11 HP, so...
It only takes one.
That's true, yeah. That's basically what he's getting to do is run into one-tap
And
NCL.
he has a kill and a smoke. Too bad the spinning body thing won't work too well with 11 HP. Or will it?
No, I don't think it will. Unless he spins really fast. Just turn the sense up to 20 and take a whirl.
But then at that point, the game will approximate him as being in one position.
That's
everywhere.
very true, yeah. Forgot about that. There's the auto correction on that. But NCL, let's see. He's looking for him in heaven. He hasn't seen that he's already snuck out tree room and got up to the site. Should know that now. And he's going to dive onto the defuse. Let's see. NCL just locks right onto him. Nicely done. Knocks out Sixer. And then it's the Mongolz that'll win the pistol, going up to 4.
Here we go. This is what they needed.
Come back.
Yep.
Let's find out.
I just like to see interesting CS. That's it.
Yeah. For a bad time for a comeback.
Exactly.
The Mongolz will look to establish one right here, right now. EnVyUs, of course, with the usual second round for Spy.
Ooh, this one's brutal.
They're going to be able to move in. Look at it scream. Tap it away. The problem is he lost one of his teammates. He's stuck here. Such a long reload. Gets it done to complete the second kill, but it's not really worth it, unfortunately. It's a 3v2. If Sixer can get a kill, then okay. This worked out all right, but fortunately does not make that happen immediately. It will be pushed back outside to the A site.
So, going back to Anders and how he's always talking about, investing a flashbang in 4 Spy or even like a full save, just get that one flashbang. Think if Sixer had a second flashbang there. Just think about it. Just for like 2 seconds. Could have won the round.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Or could have been in a better spot by this point.
Happy will be caught trying to lurk back into the site. Sixer having some better luck as he's brought Sogu down low now to 21. Can't find those last 2 shots to finish him off. Managed to stay alive and having to kind of flick onto NCL when he peeks the doorway too. It's not helping his case. That along with just a low ammo count, so pretty much used all the ammo in the P250 and will eventually get taken down by NCL, which secures a number 5 for the Mongolz. No upset this time from EnVyUs, which means they'll be full ecoing here before they get onto their first full gun round after this.
Sixer, how much money have we got? Sixer has just about enough to get an op next round. Buys a flashbang. I like how Mongolz are going with a very thorough buy. 4 rifles, They want to keep their money very strong. Whenever you have a big comeback like this, you don't want to gamble on trying to stack your money too early. You kind of want to let that happen later on in the stages of the comeback. As if you were to start anew and be like 5-0 up, that's when you want to start trying to farm.
Far up. He's going to be pushed actually by Sixer. Thankfully he has like 2 or 3 teammates down below in mid to support, and I believe Happy just saw that too. They're going to continue losing their players here, however. Scream brought down incredibly low. He's eliminated. And the B site was just left wide open for the taking. XMS has this flank, and he's going to be able to swing out very quickly to find the kill in a machine gun. But with full site control maintained by the Mongolz here over at B, it's going to make it still very rough for the retake, and even XMS getting cut off on the way back. Happy still has his AK, but I think it's wiser to save at this point, since they still don't have any utility to get back into the site with, and Happy doesn't even have armor to support that AK. Just to pick up on the gun is all he carried through with. These are still at a massive disadvantage if they try to make a play here.
So if you're NCL, how do I put this? You should be already trying to clear out the exit from the bomb site, right? Because it's pretty obvious that EnVyUs aren't going for the win. They're just trying to get a gun or get exit kills. So I'd like to see him exiting a little earlier, right? Because he's not going to be able to survive in Sunroom, so he needs to clear further, right? And if they hadn't been in CT spawn, if they had been outside of T spawn, they could have died 2 players right there, right? And whenever you're going for a comeback, your economic situation is basically paramount, right? EnVyUs could have almost locked down their next gun round by having the Mongolz only live with 1 or 2 people right there. So, just these small things that you can do to increases your chances of winning rounds later in the half is really important. Just doing a little math on a piece of paper for like 5 minutes, you can figure it out, right? Like, what happens if, the Ts or the CTs survive with 2-3 rounds in a row versus if they survive with 3 rounds in a row? It's like a massive difference. And until you see it for your own eyes, it's like, kind of like this myth thing that you like sort of believe in. So it's like you kind of make these bad decisions. Anyway, I'm not sure what the rules are for pausing, but I think this is probably Mongolz' pause. It could be EnVyUs', you never know, right? They don't want it to get out of control here.
So apparently it was a Mongolz pause. They took that time. Just shaping up the strat before they get into the first gun round here. Shaping up the guns too, because I think they wanted to spread the money around evenly. They did a good job of that, so everybody ends up on full AKs, as pretty much expected. But for EnVyUs, the big buy comes in from them, and it's going to include Op for Sixer, M4 for the rest of the team. However, Zilkenberg has already found Impact, busting out in a mid. He's taking down Scream, and also open a pathway for him to quickly try and transition into vents. Problem is, RPK caught there, and now this great flash is going to let XMS peek out, do massive damage, a huge spray down from XMS, and he kills pretty much every single one of the Mongolz, pushing him into a corner and single-handedly shutting down the round.
So how many R-dubs did the guy get who threw the flashbang? Seriously, like, come on.
I don't know.
Fallen wants to know too.
What a great setup that was, though.
Did you see those awesome stats? I forget when he put them out. That guy, Peter from HLTV.org. You know how he tweets out stats every once in a while?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you actually follow him? Because
Yes.
I'm going to check. Or are you just saying yes?
No, I follow him.
Okay, I'm just busting
He follows
your
me,
balls.
too. We follow each other, yeah.
Humble brag. Let's go.
No, you know, what's interesting is I think HLTV just put out tools as well to check flash statistics, or some form of flash statistics.
Ooh.
I think it's like flash assists or something like that. They just put on their scoreboard. So the people at home, if they're watching on HLTV, they can probably see that.
Yeah, so I think that at the one of the majors or some big tournament, he ran that. He was like, here are the players sorted in terms of how good they throw flashbangs. And EnVyUs doing a nice little pop flash retake on A main. A lot of teams do this when they give up middle or when they get middle taken from them. It's kind of like the natural meta of how cash is now. On CT side, you lose mid, you try and retake A main. Sometimes the Ts will bait you into that, and then the mind game ensues.
First kind of straightforward execute, I believe we're going to see in the half from the Mongolz as well. Even with losing Machine Gun back in A main, they're still going to attempt this push, and it doesn't start off half bad. They push Sixer back, and then when he tries to peek again, he's punished once more by Mara. So beautiful hold by Mara, deals with the offer very quickly before he even really has a chance to fire back. RPK will try to get aggressive, but Sogu holds his own ground, and Mara once again will show up with another kill as well, knocking out Scream. There's only 2 left all of a sudden from EnVyUs, and they're taking damage just trying to push up to the smokes.
I like it, I like
gonna
it.
waste no time. Through the smoke he goes, won't deny the plan, but he can only get 1 kill. That's the problem. He's now set XMS up for a 1v3. Great little flip from XMS to be able to find Mara. But now, though, still has to deal with the players at A main and inside of that cubby. And he has no utility to force one. He does have a kit. He's going to jump right on it as well. Let's see, are they going to be able to push to him in time? The wrap in the corner. He might sneak it off, and he got it, actually. He sneaks in the defuse. Another miracle round, another miracle play from XMS. And it's EnVyUs that go up again, 14-6.
Oh, that must be gutting. Absolutely gutting, right? They're probably like, oh, he knows there's 2 of us. He won't stick it. Sticks it. Me IRL.
Well, the old adage, you know, pros don't fake.
Oh.
That's exactly what we get right there, is a pro sticking it in the corner, taking a big risk on it, basically throws away the round if they push him quickly enough, but they do not. And he just barely defuses that in time.
If I had a penny for every time a 12-year-old told me pros don't fake.
Well, this is a very different story all of a sudden here on the 21st round. It's again the Mongolz showing up, and they just destroy the entire mid setup here. 3 kills in the first 20 seconds of the round.
So when I plant there, I don't say default plant, I say horrible plant. Right? Because that is the worst plant.
That was not the good spot for.
It literally almost takes 5 seconds to get from the far corner of the A main door to kill the guy. Right? Like, just to get the angle to kill him almost takes 5 seconds, unless you have nutty movement, like yours truly.
Well, thankfully, the Mongolz recover nicely on the next round there, and they pretty much just wipe the floor with EnVyUs, to be honest. And that is going to cause EnVyUs to be reset. They will go back down onto a full eco this round. And, well, the good news is that they thankfully are going to be under a whole lot of pressure just as the Mongolz, again, much like their match against Cloud9, are really fighting against the tide here.
Yep.
Unfortunately, still losing rounds every once in a while. It's just inching EnVyUs closer and closer to the eventual 16th round here.
I have to admit that watching Mongolz is actually really entertaining, right? Like, sometimes when you watch teams that, you know, play in scenes where they aren't as strong, their approach to the game is kind of underwhelming to a certain extent, but watching the Mongols is great. And right as I say it, of course, you know, something the opposite is going on as EnVyUs, you know, have a force buy of their own that looks quite viable.
Which never really works out the way it wanted to, yeah. As we are going to see EnVyUs almost nearly upsetting. And in fact, XMS, come on! Oh, he's been so impressive in these last 2 rounds, but this time it's
There's no NA teams in the server, and this is happening. What's going on?
It's global CS.
Yeah.
Zilkenberg's going to be able to find Scream.
Human choices.
And now it's Happy in a 1v2. Spotted by Zilkenberg, tries to hit that one headshot, but cannot make it happen. So decent recovery from the Mongols, but never really should have gotten to that point to begin with, considering what they were up against.
So did you see right there where he like started firing into the smoke before we could see him or whatever? Who knows? I wonder if he popped up on his radar as a red dot. I always think that there's like that interesting like difference between when you can actually see him versus when the radar shows up, right? Because that'd be a very hard thing to code logically into a program.
That's very true. I think a lot of players will just fire at that shot as well, because sometimes they have the enemy thing on that shows up.
Yeah, the name.
Yeah, the name that'll show up if you're looking through a smoke.
That's true.
That hits them too. Because I think will trigger the radar as well.
Trigger.
There. All right, calm down. We've got Machine Gun in the meanwhile, acting very much as his namesake, because he's slowly spraying down the players in mid. Will eventually be able to finish off a few over the last 2. Of course, Mara helping out there as well. That puts them at 9-14, but after these saves, we do have EnVyUs coming back into the game with a full buy.
So this is a round I would watch if I was watching a demo of Mongolz, right? What is their strat that they pull out when they absolutely need to win a round and they have a full buy? Here it is right here, having the time of their life.
Reference game on point.
Yeah, nobody knows that reference, so I probably just sound like an idiot, which is basically par for the course.
I mean, we've been doing it on Pro League for the last like 3 weeks.
People still don't know.
You'd think people would get it by now, but this is a whole new platform.
Yeah, we're basically paving the way for us to be like dumb in the future, because we can just always claim it's some meme. And they're going to go with the triple door Monka-S strat right here. Let's see if it works out.
This is going to be scary, to say the least.
This could work out with this setup.
And actually, EnVyUs have very little defense in the actual A site, and like Sixer's watching A main. So they could go out, immediately see Sixer, destroy him, and then they have the site. There's no one else here.
Sixer is having an unlucky day.
He is going to see the door swing open, but it's only this one player sitting inside, just distracting now. Scoping all over the place, too, so Sogu is going to hear that, but the shot comes back at Sogu, and it's an up shot, which is going to do way more damage than a measly little AK bullet. Machine Gun getting a bit of an awkward spot with the Scream. Be able to move in, knock out Scream. RPK, though, is wreaking some havoc in the mid garage, and Machine Gun still just sitting up on top waiting for him to peek mid again.
Why did NCL peek that before his teammate was ready to come around the other side? Just why?
Like slow peeked it too, right?
That vexes me.
Well, it's up to Zilkenberg. We saw him with a very impressive play back on the last half. They might need to show us that again if he wants to have any hope of keeping his team in the match. Getting dinked through a wall is going to make things, of course, a little bit chaotic, and he's even forced back further. He's losing progress here, unfortunately. Now getting like negative yardage because we're football here. As he picks up the first kill on XMS, trying his best to hold. He actually does chain together at least 2 kills at the end. This makes it expensive for EnVyUs, which is actually not a terrible thing at this point in the match, but that does push EnVyUs up to map point.
And they hear that foreboding
Boom!
Yeah. Yep. You know what was even more depressing was just getting stomped on T-side Inferno and then spawning into that depressing song every time. When you're just like, all right, guys, let's wait it out, the smoke spot on B, and then re-hear this music every round.
Constantly reminds you are losing.
Anyway, we should probably give this round a go.
Yeah, let's do that. As the Mongols are going to be quickly boosting over the top to take that mid control. They will have to deal with RPK holding the close corner position, but Zilkenberg is quick on the trade to be able to trade that back down into a 4v4. Moro, let's see the timing on this one. Misses Scream going right across the doorway here. He'll also be able to sneak inside of A main. They just kind of expect him in here, though.
Ready.
They're pre-firing that top corner. He's going to jump up on top. He did actually catch. Who's that sitting back there?
He had a nade out, too.
Yeah. No, that's what I was saying. I think he caught Suga when he was low, but anyway, Suga's still going to be able to get the better of him. A Sixer sitting in the default plant spot. This might get a little hairy.
Man.
He's got the knife out. He knows he's going to get close for comfort.
This is Stewie-esque.
Let's see.
And it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's not Stewie-esque. Stewie-esque means successful.
Spam him out there. Sogu finding another kill too, brings it all down to XMS, and he unfortunately only has an MP9 to try and play off of here. Flashbangs all over the place, won't do anything. Sogu gets his 3rd kill on the round. There's that sound again, as the Mongols pick up their 10th.
I mean, it could either pump you up or it could scare you. The type of person you are dictates what you like to do. Do you like to compete, or do you like to sit? I like to compete, but I also like to sit every once in a while. And EnVyUs, like, on another save round, I feel like they're playing a little too loose. Like, the way they played mid right there is like, it's probably not going to work out against a full buy playing up close mid by yourself, right? Like, it's what's really going to happen if they try and take mid? They have plenty of nades. So.
That whole last round just seemed like kind of a mess, to be completely honest. There seemed like both teams are having like communication issues, not getting correct intel sent out, or bad calls are being made, things like that. But okay, this
Jesus.
of course would be the way to end it, right? 3 kills so far from EnVyUs. Only 1 trade back against them.
Oh man.
Happy's about to flank them from Z2. Oh, Mara, good spot though. Combined, of course, with NCL's kill, has brought things back down to earth, and it's going to be up to Sixer. He'll be spotted out in mid, and Mara finishes it off. Mara being the one saving grace there for the Mongols as he picks up a big 4K on the round.
Well, that was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm one of those guys on Mongols that died early and I'm watching the last 2 guys, I'm literally having my hand over my mouth like, oh no, what have I done?
What have we done to deserve
right?
this?
It is one of those feelings where it's like, yeah, I probably went a little too far on what I was doing, and now I'm about to lose a match. Right? Things change, like the course of rounds change so fast in CS, man. Compared to 1.6, like in CSGO, I actually am a big fan of the viability of a lot of guns and the viability of pistols.
Well, we saw a great example of that right there
Big
in that last
fan.
round.
Please record that, so if I ever say the opposite in the future, you can slap me in the face with it.
I mean, you could
like-
just change your opinion, you know. People are allowed to do that.
No, I'm going to be steadfast. I'm a man of principle.
People just, you know, people grow. People change tastes. Sometimes they decide they don't like pistols. Sometimes they do like pistols.
How does somebody trust a man who changes taste on a whim? Isn't there some negative connotative word like fickle or capricious to describe that?
I just call them a flip-flop, I think is what you call them.
Or somebody who adapts, if you want to make it a positive notion.
An evolutionary, you
Yeah.
might be able to say. We're getting off topic again. EnVyUs. EnVyUs are going to look to upset, of course, if they bring a much lessened buy into this round. And we can see they're going to try to do a bit of a counter boost play here, but it looks
So
like
who's
someone...
the nade on? Okay, so the nade's on RPK. I think he's ready to nade them if they try and come over boost on top, right? Because you could really do a lot of damage nading over the boost.
XMS was already spotted for. They were checking for that, so I think they knew that that counter boost was happening right from the get-go of things. Zilkenberg is going to group up with the rest of the Mongols, and in they go to the A site, which is pretty much wide open for the taking. EnVyUs tried to stack mid and home some mid push.
Banger.
Didn't get that. The nade goes back. It doesn't immediately kill anyone, but Happy's headshot will. Unfortunately, currently, that's the only kill from EnVyUs, and now they're down to 2. Still 4 strong on the T side.
This Mongols team is legit, man. Like, to take EnVyUs like this on cash is... This is not something you accident yourself into, you know? And I think did they lose both? Yeah, they lost both pistols, I believe. They won the force buy in the second round.
Looks like they won the first pistol but got ecoed.
No, that was EnVyUs that won it. Oh no, they won the second
Yeah,
pistol.
that's what I'm saying, yeah.
You know, I'm just proving right now how amazing my memory is.
Yeah.
Honestly,
we
like,
both got a little lost
honestly,
there.
if I didn't watch so much CS or demos or play, it would be easier to remember, right? But like, when I'm visually looking at this, it's so hard to remember what happened, you know?
Same for me too, for whatever reason. My like in-game memory is like really bad, so I always have to like look back at that little screen there. Which oftentimes we don't have actual computers, so we have to ask a DJ to do it for us in this case.
The wonderful Prius.
So no, you didn't have to do it right there. I was just saying. You're good though. Thank you. I appreciate you, DJ. DJ's doing all the work for us today. We didn't tell people how much work DJ's doing. He's doing everything here, basically, except the casting, obviously.
Which you're doing, and I'm the one who's doing nothing, right?
No, you're
like,
casting.
you're the one
too.
who's like basically having like a heart rate raising, saying like 300 words per minute.
I'm the hype man. You're the
Yeah, and I'm
you're
like-
the knowledge guy. That's how it works.
Yeah. That's a pretty gratuitous way of putting
His
it.
forehead looks really weird when you go like into his helmet.
Polygonal.
No, it just looked like it didn't match his like the rest of his head, like it jutted out.
Yeah, well, it seems like EnVyUs haven't learned the age-old adage, as Blue would put it, of buying a kit.
Would I put
Maybe
it that
it
way?
might be good to buy a kit on a map where bomb plants are quite prevalent. Or see the default spread with 3 going towards door again. I think that Mongolz might be doing this in response to the fact that Sixer has a proclivity to pick door sometimes.
We've already seen him do that a couple times just in this half alone. He's going to be caught on top of Big Red. Does fall back down. RPK currently holding it solo, though. Him and Sixer shut down 4 players in very quick fashion. Oh, Silkenberg, though. What was that pre-fire out of absolutely nowhere? Just runs out and destroys Sixer. Nicely done from him. He's got a lot more work to do than that. Still 3 more kills to get. But he's got a minute to get him. Maybe more, of course, depending on the timing of the plan.
EnVyUs are positioned in such a way that I feel like Silkenberg has a decent shot here. Because obviously his aim is ridiculous. So if they give him 1v1 fights, I can see myself screaming at the end of this round after he clutches it.
Well, hold your breath for right now, as we've got the A-main execute getting ready to move in here. Dreams could be dashed right from the start if RPK peeks A-main at the correct time. Also have the truck angle to deal with too, which he's currently trying to peek to avoid. You can see him very closely hugging that forklift position so as not to get found out by the truck guy. He's doing actually a pretty good job of that. Sneaking up, though, unfortunately, does not eventually check the truck, and that is where Happy is going to be able to push out, take him down, and secure the map for Team EnVyUs. So they will take it, and they will get their first win of the tournament. 16-12 will be the map score, and that one will put EnVyUs on a record of 1-1, pushing them a little bit further up. And unfortunately for the Mongols, they now sit 0-2, being unable to upset against both Cloud9 and, of course, EnVyUs. But they come very close to at least taking it to overtime here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Mongolz' goals are in terms of like career trajectory in CS, but I feel like if they were to move to like a hotbed scene where they could scrim good teams all the time, I could actually see them being a pretty nuts team. Like their aimers are ridiculous, and I'm not just saying that to like make a note about them. It was pretty impressive to watch.
Yeah, of course. Well, that is going to set EnVyUs ablaze, give them at least their first win of the tournament. Hopefully warm them up a little bit because they've got plenty more matches to go, and so do we, guys. So we're going to take another break. We'll have a celebratory Macron, and then when we come back, I probably just butchered the pronunciation. I apologize for that. When we come back, we'll have our next match here from the B stream at IEM Oakland.